In this shadowy digital landscape, every swipe and click is meticulously tracked, feeding into a machine that knows you better than you know yourself. It is not just your data that they are after, it is your very essence. Imagine a world where your every thought and opinion is shaped by unseen forces. Welcome to the era of social media algorithm, where divide and conquer is the game plan. Companies gather your data, influencers use bad tactics and fear of missing out to promote a product. And this landscape is changing people, especially teens. Hey, it's Sleuther, your go-to sleuth for uncovering the dark underbelly of the digital and physical world. Today, we are diving deep into how social media algorithms are dividing and conquering our thoughts and opinions online. I will also be using some quotes and essays from author Jaron Lanier to back up some of my points. However, I haven't read the full book yet, as I have a lot of book to read. So I just came through the book and picked points I think are good and useful for this particular video. At the heart of this digital manipulation are algorithms designed to keep you hooked. Platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok use complex algorithms to personalize your feed, showing you content that aligns with your interests and beliefs. But here's the catch. This personalization creates echo chambers, reinforcing your existing views and isolating you from opposing perspectives. As Jaron Lanier, a vocal critic of social media, asserts, these echo chambers don't just isolate, they manipulate. Jaron Lanier argues that this manipulation has profound effects on how we think and act, polarizing society and making it difficult to see common grounds with those who hold opposing views. Let's look at the harms it pushes. These echo chambers don't just keep you engaged, they also push harmful content. Take TikTok, for example. According to an investigation by the Wave Clinic, the platform algorithm can expose teens to content that promote eating disorder and unrealistic body standards, and influencers use these to sell their young or old audience products they do not need. Because the algorithm pushes this content to people, it knows we likely buy it either due to them watching content or searches online, like how to lose weight. And it is not just TikTok. Every platform has its dark side. On Facebook, misinformation spread like wildfire, often unchecked. Lanier points out that the platform algorithm prioritizes sensationalism over truth, fueling division. Lanier notes that social media can undermine truth, with platform prioritizing sensational and emotionally charged content over factual information, leading to the spreading of misinformation and fake news.
Well, there are 10 reasons, okay? One reason is that scientific studies have shown that even though it's hard to delete your accounts, when you do, you get happier, you get more productive.
Lanier refers to studies on the virality of false information and the challenges of correcting it once it spreads. A recent example of this is one that happened in the Olympics between two female boxers, one from Algeria and one from Italy. A rumor spread that the Algerian boxer was trans because she punched the Italian female boxer so hard she had to quit in round one. There is no evidence the Algerian boxer is trans, as Algeria does not recognize the LGBT community. So why would a country like that send a trans person to represent them in the Olympics? Makes no sense to me, but the rumor spread quickly and some believed it and were arranged. And this outrage occurred on Twitter the most. Makes no sense to me, but the rumor quickly spread and some believed it and were enraged. And this outrage occurred on Twitter the most. Twitter's real-time nature amplify outrage and conflict, creating a toxic environment where outrage and controversy get you noticed more in real time. Another harm it pushes is making people more of an AO online. Lanier suggests that the anonymity and lack of accountability on social media encourage negative behaviors such as trolling and cyberbullying. It draws on psychological studies showing how online disambition leads to increased aggression and antisocial behavior. I am sure you have all seen rise in racist and more trolling contents online. Individuals who seem to think that they are based, sigma, or cool for being a see you next Tuesday online. So, who are the masterminds behind the algorithms? Let's look at giants like Facebook, now Meta, Twitter, and ByteDance. TikTok's parent company are the main players. These companies design their algorithms to maximize engagement because more engagement means more ad revenue. Lanier points out that these platforms don't want you to have an economic dignity. They exploit your personal information for profits, often without fair compensation. On free apps like this, you are not the customer because you do not pay for it. Instead, other companies interested in your data are the customers of social media platform.
Well, in the business models for companies like Facebook and Twitter, but also I have to say for Google, the only product that they make money from essentially is the ability to persuade and change the behaviors of their users. So you're not the customer of these things. The customer is the advertiser off to the side, and the advertiser believes that they're able to gain some kind of modification in what you do, what you think, and it's sneaky. You don't understand all that's being done to you. Very strange behavior modification algorithms are being applied, and all this data that's being taken is what feeds those algorithms.
Whilst you and your data are the product, these platforms are not just making money, they are playing with the fabric of society. By exploiting our psychological vulnerabilities, they are prioritizing profit over the well-beings of individuals and communities. This ethical blindness is the greatest danger of all, as it erodes trust and undermines democracy. We also have data broker. They are not as well known as Facebook or other companies because they usually work in the background. They collect and aggregate information from various sources, including the internet and other companies, either online or offline. The data brokerage industry rakes in over $200 billion annually, fueled by the sale of meticulously curated audience segments. While some brokers deal in relatively benign categories like sports or music lovers, others are face scandals for trading in highly sensitive data, such as medical conditions or financial hardships. So the ones that deal in medical or financial data are the worst. Imagine this company knows you have a certain medical condition, so they will sell your data to a medical company that sells drugs or products, and this company will claim that their product will fix your health problem by either pushing an ad to you about those specific health problem. These products might work, but often they are a lie, and if they do work, they are expensive. Now let's look at the threat to individual thoughts and actions. This manipulation has profound effects on how we think and act. By continually feeding us content that aligns with our beliefs, this algorithm polarizes society, making it difficult for us to see common grounds with those who hold opposing views. A recent study by Pew Research highlights how this algorithmic categorization deepens societal divide. Here's a quote: "Algorithms will most benefit the minority of individuals who are consistently preferred by algorithm, plus those who are sufficiently technically savvy to understand and manipulate them." So this means for the average user, they will be fed whatever the algorithm deems right to enforce certain beliefs or behaviors and get them to buy specific products. So this creates a polarized online environment. Lanier also emphasizes that social media is making us lose our free will, with platforms exploiting our psychological vulnerabilities to keep us hooked, making users more predictable and susceptible to influence.
Gambling addiction.
Right.
When somebody becomes addicted to gambling, they don't want to believe it. They think they're in control, but they're not. And so since everybody's addicted to this stuff, when you talk to them about it, it's very hard for them to understand because they're addicted. It's essentially a form of being hypnotized, but by a hypnotist who's working for somebody else.
Right.
It's a very strange situation.
Okay, so we're addicted. That's fine. We get these dopamine hits from people liking our pouty selfies or our posts of our kids or whatever. Even if it's well intentioned, we're addicted to our own echo chamber and people validating our thoughts and all of that.
Social media platforms manipulate user behavior through algorithms designed to manipulate and maximize engagement. The longer you spend on the app, the more data they get off you to sell and also influence your thoughts. Here's an hypothetical scenario. So imagine a teenager, Alex, scrolling through the feed. Each like, share, and comment nudges Alex further into the curated reality where only certain viewpoints are validated. Over time, Alex's worldview narrows, shaped not by diverse experience, but by an algorithm code. This is not just a theory, it is happening right now to millions of people every day. Now, let's look at how this has created homogeneity in opposite. So, social media algorithms are designed to cater to specific interests and beliefs of every individuals. They analyze your behaviors, preference, and interactions to serve you content that keep you engaged. This might sound convenient, but it has a darker side. By constantly feeding you content that aligns with your existing views, these algorithms create echo chambers. Within these echo chambers, individuals on opposite end of the spectrum, whether political, social, or cultural, become more homogeneous in their beliefs and behavior. Imagine two groups, one on the extreme left and one on the extreme right. Within their respective bubbles, members of each group start to exhibit uniform thinking, reinforced by the same type of content over and over and over again. They begin to adopt similar language, share the same memes, and rally around the same causes. Despite their polar opposition, both groups have been shaped and changed by the same mechanism. Algorithms designed to maximize engagement. However, it is not all doom and gloom. Breaking out of these echo chambers can lead to more nuanced understanding and healthier discourse. Exposing ourselves to diverse viewpoints can foster empathy and bridge societal divides. By actively seeking out different perspectives, we can begin to repair the fabric of our polarized society. The real enemy here isn't the people on the other side of the spectrum. It is the unseen forces manipulating the digital landscape. These algorithms are designed to keep us divided, making it easier to control and influence us. Because while we fight amongst each other, governments and corporations profit from our data, invading our privacy, and deepening societal divide so that they can push policies or law that benefits them. Echo chambers create opportunities for government manipulation. The government is also involved physically. They do not rely on algorithms alone. It was exposed a couple years ago that Eglin Air Force Base had a huge traffic on Reddit. So what business does the government have to put their human resources into browsing Reddit and online forums when they could be doing something better like stopping crimes and improving lives? Now let's look at the role of governments and corporations. So government agencies and corporations also have a vested interest in this algorithm. Government may use data to influence public opinions, sway elections, and control narratives. Corporations, on the other hand, see an opportunity to push their products and ideologies, leveraging the power of data to target specific demographics with surgical precision. Lanier warns that this manipulation can undermine our capacity for empathy with superficial social media interaction eroding genuine human connections. Let us consider the Cambridge Analytica scandal, where data from millions of Facebook users was harvested without consent and used to influence election. This case highlights how data misuse can undermine democratic processes and erode public trust. Lanier warns that such manipulations are not isolated incidents, but part of a broader trend of exploiting data for power and profit. So, what is the long-term damage of algorithms and its use in divide and conquer? Well, this divide and conquer strategy has severe long-term consequences. As we become more polarized, the potential for meaningful dialogue diminishes. Society fractures into insular communities, each convinced of their moral superiority and righteousness. The online world, and by extension the physical world, become a battleground of extreme views, with little room for compromises or understanding. Lanier cautions that social media is making what we say meaningless, devaluing individual expression and the constant stream of content. Imagine a world where communities are so polarized that common ground is impossible to find. In cities, neighbors no longer speak to each other, each convinced of the other moral failings. School become the battlegrounds of ideology, with students and teachers wary of expressing their true thoughts. Public discourse devolves into shouting matches with no room for empathy or understanding. Lanier warned that this dystopian future is not far off if we continue down this path. The fragmentation of society benefits data exploitation because, while everyone is arguing and perceiving things online as personal attack and hatred on themselves and their beliefs, these companies are raking in billions, using our data to further their research and refine their algorithms. Every clicks, every likes and share feeds into a system that invades our privacy, collecting data profile on our preference and behaviors. Very soon they will be able to know you just as much as you know yourself, almost like they have a neural link in your head to read your every thoughts and action online. But they achieve this with the device in your hands and pockets. Lanier also points out that social media is making us unhappy, with numerous studies showing a correlation between social media use and negative mental health outcome. We are living in a world where our opinions and thoughts are subtly controlled by algorithms designed to divide and conquer. It is crucial to stay aware and question the contents we consume, seeking out diverse perspective and breaking free from the echo chambers. Lanier argues that quitting social media is the most finely targeted way to resist the insanity of our time, and it is up to us to reclaim our individual thought process, free wills, and economic dignity. For specific studies and detailed data, Lanier book provides citations and reference to academic research, expert opinions, and case studies illustrating the negative impacts of social media. If you found this video eye-opening, hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives, and let me know in the comments what you think about the power of social media algorithms. Stay curious, stay informed, and until next time, this is Sleeve signing off.